Hey everybody, Adam Hubbard, Director of Fitting here at Raspberry Falls Golf Club. Today we're going to talk a little bit about wedge fitting. Now, one of the things and questions that I get asked about is, Adam, when I'm hitting my pitching wedge X distance, what's the next club in the bag? And I said, well, that's where gapping becomes a really, really important factor of wedge fitting. Now, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Callaway MD4, fantastic line of new wedges for them this year, designed by Roger Cleveland. That's a really cool technology with their milled-in grooves, groove and groove technology. A lot of neat, interesting things, but also some new grind choices. Now, one of the things that we look at when you do come out and get fit is how far you hit your pitching wedge. You check the loft of your pitching wedge. So, for example, my pitching wedge is 45 degrees. When I jump up to my gap wedge, for me is 50. So that gives me a 5-degree gap between that. From there I go 54 and 58. So that gives me a good 10 to 15 yard gap between my clubs. So I've got a variety of different clubs that I can hit from different yardages. So once we have an idea about how far you hit your pitching wedge, then we're going to start looking at corresponding lofts that are going to give you the best chance to score from this yardage. Now, if you don't want to carry that many clubs, then we can kind of factor in, okay, well, maybe you carry more up top and you don't need as much down low. We're going to look at all that. But with having this many choices in the MD4 line, you can really dial in whatever club that you need from this particular yardage. You know me, options. I like to have as many choices as I can to fit you into the right golf club. In the MD4 line this year, they've got all the way from 46 all the way up to 64 with 4 different grinds. So you've got the S grind, which is the most popular with most of the tour guys. They make that in just about every loft combination. It works from any type of conditions. So if you play down in Florida where it's pretty firm, or if you play them to this area or in the Northwest where it gets a little softer, it works for a lot of different players. We can also get a little more fine tuning. Like for me, I use the S grind on my 50. I'm using the C grind on my 54, and then I'm using the brand new X grind in my 58. Now, that X grind is kind of like taking their W grind, which is a little bit wider, has more bounce, but then they're shaving off the toe and the heel, so that if you're that type of player like myself that likes to open the face of that wedge up a little bit, it's easier to get underneath there and do more things with it. Because I like to play with my 58 for a lot of different lies on that one. But if you're the type of player that maybe it's pretty shallow, doesn't take a big divot, you can use the S or the C. Right now we've had a lot of rain in this area, so if I'm hitting a different type of shot in this area, I want something that's got a little bit more bounce to it. So in this case, I've got the W grind. I'm hitting a little short shot here from a pretty soft lie. The S grind, like I said, very, very versatile. A lot of different guys in tour use this. You can pretty much use this anywhere. So if I'm trying to hit kind of a lower shot, this is where I'm going to use my 54 primarily around the greens. Maybe I've got a little bit more green to work with. I want the ball to roll out a little bit more. I'm not going to change my technique that much. I'm going to allow the club to do the work. I can fly that down a little lower. It's going to hit and it'll still grab, but it gives me a better chance to kind of keep the ball low and run it towards my target. That's why I like having all those different choices. Now, if you're not familiar with some of the technology in the MD4, they're all saw cut inside. There's a lot of new grooves. This is their they call it the groove and groove technology. So over 84 different points of contact on the face of this golf ball. A lot of opportunity to grab the golf ball, can help you spin, channel all that debris out of the way. So particularly if you're coming out of the rough, coming out of the sand, it's still going to allow that ball to bite when it lands. It gives you a little bit more control with that one. So a lot of early adopters earlier in the season when these came out. I've seen some really good numbers in the bay. This is a really good looking wedge. They do a lot of, comes in both the slate and the chrome finish. I think they just offered a new raw finish and a new tactical finish, which the club is pretty sharp. It's all black shaft, black grip. So check those out as well. Once again, if you're new to my channel, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the little bell down the bottom there. So every time that we upload a new video, you get notified. And if you have any other questions, check me out at raspberryfalls.com, and we'll see you next week.